And we're getting ready for launch, and here we go. Oh, early map check from Christos. I wasn't even prepared for a map check that early.
Eastern was 1, Hera was 2, and Desert was Green Pendant.
Green Pendant Desert, that's interesting. That
I believe.
Yeah. And 300 rupees in the normal boomerang or the normal lamp chat boomerang. Won't have to worry about rupees for much of the rest of the race, I don't think. So TGH looks like he's going to do the south route, farming up some bombs in south of Kakariko, while Christos is doing a more traditional route, going to check what's on. Well, he may check what's in Lumberjack, but will at least go to Kakariko from the north side, from the looks of it. TGH finding one bomb south of Hyrule, so he'll be moving his way over to farm up the remainder of his bombs in that bombable hut in the meanwhile.
Only red rupees in the maze game.
Ooh, those look like silvers on the Lumberjack ledge. Which means we will, in all likelihood, unless for whatever reason we have an Aga required seed, I can't imagine these runners would reroute to kill Aghanim for any reason instead of doing silverless.
Yeah, it's pretty unlikely they will get silvers this time.
I mean, it's possible, I suppose, if they have to kill Aga anyway and just happen to be checking things out up there. But I don't imagine we're going to look at that. In the meanwhile, TGA is picking up some bombs, and I have to say this now because otherwise I'm going to say it at an inopportune moment. Pink Link is just an eyesore to look at.
It's fabulous.
I mean, I'm not knocking Link at all. It's just a little bit hard on the eyes. Not expecting it.
It's fabulous. Good. Ooh.
Flippers, that's a nice pull at that point. That means no fake flippering. I hope they weren't planning on setting up a Houlihan at any point in time. Not that they would need it, but just got a lot harder to do.
Not really. It's still easy to do. Just more time consuming.
Well, Tare, not all of us can be awesome bots like you.
Ooh, hookshot. That's very nice to have early on.
Yep, doesn't unlock anything on its own quite yet, but nice for your first weapon if you're especially going to route down into Mini Moldorm Cave, for example.
I bet they will find the power claws in the Mini Moldorm Cave or the dam.
It's possible. I mean, there's certainly precedent for that early, at least one lift upgrade is usually indicative of a few things. We've seen it go for a while without it, though. And that was the cane. I can't believe I missed that with Christos routing. Wow. So meanwhile, TGH is going to do the South Hylia area. ChristosOwen heading over to check the dam and Mini Moldorm. TGH right on his tail. Nice hooks, shot strats there by Christos. Skipping, having to double dip in here. So both these runners showing their skills off. We don't always see that early skip, but when you can do it, you do. TGH going ahead and picking up rupees. Doesn't quite have the remaining rupees required, but gotta wonder. I thought he'd be okay without it. And Mini Moldorm not giving us a whole lot of anything. Blue Mail is probably the most valuable, but otherwise, just some hearts and health upgrades. That's really unfortunate there.
Thanks God, the tunic color doesn't change.
The sleeve color changes. Oh my goodness. Cane of Brian and a bomb upgrade capacity in the Waterfall Fairy Cave. And I imagine Christos is going to go right over and check to see what Zora has. He's got the money, might as well. Meanwhile, TGH is actually routing over to get Ice Rod Cave first. This is a slight routing divergence. We'll see if it pays off for TGH here. So less than 8 minutes in, and we know where both canes are. Just some bombs for TGH, so not really worth it at that point. And Christos learning a horrible life lesson. Don't engage in commerce with anyone with guilds. So with no other weapons other than Burna and Hookshot and Samaria, I suppose, Christos is going to be making his way into Escape. TGH is flippering over to check Hobo. That could have an interesting item if the logic dictates it, but we'll see here shortly.
Only a heart container. Interesting.
It's a little bit interesting, yeah. I'm a little bit concerned at this point in time because we're starting to run out of locations and not a ton going on here.
Yep, only Escape, the Hasrala, Eastern Palace, and Egina is left.
Well, TGH is getting ready to go up here, get his Sparkle Wand. I absolutely love these Cane of Samaria strats in the early game. It's not something you see unless you've practiced a lot of swordless or, of course, open mode, but you can tell that Christos has done this plenty of times with the cane. Knows exactly where and when to use it.
Ooh.
There's our power glove. So we'll see where that ends up taking Christos. It unlocks things like the back half of Escape, which I suspect he's going to be going to right away. Meanwhile, TGH looks like he's heading over to Sahasrala's garage sale.
Nothing.
And a whole lot of bupkis. We'll see if TGH has any more luck here at Sahasrala. See if he makes a dive into Eastern. I've seen some runners try to avoid going into Eastern, even when they check this early, just doing what they can to try to route Eastern and Pod together. Another 300. Moon Pearl.
So, Eastern Palace in Egina. Either another glove upgrade or the hammer.
Yep, that's what we're looking for. Glove upgrade or the hammer. If there's neither of them in either Eastern or Agnes Cave, well, I mean, we got to be looking for a sword as well at some point because we can't do Agon M1 without a sword of any kind. And maybe two swords or the cape. So we're still kind of a long ways. There's got to be something of value here in the next few chests.
Worst case scenario would be if they find like cape and bugnet here. Oh no, wait, they need a sword for the curtain. Oh, never mind. Always forget the freaking curtain.
Yep, that curtain is just... Plus, let's not forget that in order to do AGA 1, according to the logic, we would have to be able to find the lamp somewhere. Now,
Right.
the routing to AGA 1, I don't know if these runners can do it because AGA 1 lampless is not something that we typically see done.
It's easy.
Oh, and there's our lamp. Uh-oh. I mean, that does give us access to Death Mountain, though, technically. We have our lift upgrade that Christos ended up getting, and we'll end up getting the lamp, so we'll be able to get up to Death Mountain and even the east side of Death Mountain. TGH going up, and looks like he's going to be doing the escape routing that Christos has already done. I can't imagine Christos is going to go anywhere else, but wouldn't it be trolly if Agina actually had progress at this point? Chad is asking, where were gloves? Gloves are in Zelda's treasure chest in the basement of Escape.
ChristosOwen meanwhile is going up Death Mountain, the only possible play at the moment, besides Agina.
Yep, absolutely. Definitely a solid play. We've seen TGH here. It's interesting. Not that TGH is doing poorly by any means, but you kind of get the sense from watching his play, he's using the cane of Brian to kill off a lot of enemies, which feels not necessarily practiced. I mean, he's still making very quick work. Meanwhile, just conversing that with Christos when he went through with Samaria, he knew exactly everything he needed to do, and it was very clean. So I think there's a slight practice gap here between Christos and TGH.
Yeah, that's true. There's also the one chest in the sewers.
Yep, when we already have map and keys, so there might be something there. TGH setting up his death warp here. Ooh, it's the bow.
Yep.
That's going to end up being big for Christos. We'll see TGH going to that back half of escape. I don't know what's going to be there, but that gives us clearance to go ahead and clear out Eastern Palace, doesn't it?
Yep. But at the moment, it's only enabled the runners to do armor knights and nothing else at the moment.
At the
So
moment,
it's
no.
not really progression at the moment.
And I believe they already got all the 3 items, so there's no reason to really go back into Eastern until you can route Pod in together with it.
Exactly.
TGH going to be disappointed here, but will be able to do this dark chest now. It'll be interesting if something of importance is going to be in this dark room chest. It's going to give TGH quite a bit of advantage at this point. Meanwhile, Christos is in Paradox Cave. We'll see what happens here. And oh my god!
What was it? I blinked.
You blinked. Oh, it was the Titan Smith.
Oh!
That is absolutely vital for TGH. Oh my goodness. It's going to be a while until Christos checks that. That's significant for TGH just because that's his Dark World access right there.
And luckily he's also going up Death Mountain. So he will find his bow.
That was a rod of some sort up on the floating isle too. Didn't see if it was fire or ice, but that was a rod that we'll need, I imagine. Harbinger of Me thinks Ag not required because they have hook shot. It's not because of the hook shot, but it is because of the flippers. You can't get across that river going west to east unless you have flippers on that point. Hook shot if you're going east to west, but flippers if you're going west to east. And worth noting, TGH will be able to full clear Death Mountain, both light and dark side. So that's going to be fairly important. Meanwhile, ChristosOwen is searching around. He's going to be checking Hobo. He's going to have to check a lot of individual locations before he eventually gets back to that spot. He's going to do some running around because nothing else is unlocked for him right now. This is we'll see how significant it is for TGH once they stop running over each other's footsteps. He'll be able to get going to new locations much faster than Christos. Oh. Oh.
Ooh, that's good for him.
That is good for him. I don't know if that's just the routing he ended up choosing, but that's actually very, very good for Christos that he's getting this in early. It'll allow him to catch up to TGH once he gets to that point.
Well, to be honest, it would be funny if Egnar has something like the hammer.
Yeah, I mean, it's still entirely possible for Agina to have something of importance, and they at this point they're not going to check it until they can route Misery Mire or Desert somewhere into it, and we're nowhere close to either of those locations. So, ooh, we could be in for a long night here, Ter. So Christos getting those mitts and immediately saving and quitting, heading up to Dark Death Mountain. The one place, well, I'm not going to say the only place he can go. He has really kind of full Dark World access at this point, but this is a pretty dense location, particularly with Hookshot Cave and Super Bunny Cave right next to each other.
Hmm. Did TGH check the floating island?
I didn't see him check Floating Island. We know Christos saw it. We just didn't see what the top of it was. I'm sure he just saw Rod and was like, yep, have to do it. And there's our red mail. So we have 2 armor upgrades before seeing any swords. Thieves Town and Swamp Palace as our 2 pendants. So we do know Turtle Rock is required.
Palace of Darkness and Ice Palace was Crystal 5 and 6.
I'm really surprised Christos didn't go ahead and grab that rod while he was up there. And he's saving and quitting. Oh my gosh.
What?
Did he not see it?
What? The what?
Christos saved
Yes,
and
no
quit.
mirror.
Oh, no mirror. Right.
For the floating island, you still need a mirror.
Yeah, okay. I'm a derp. It's alright. I think somehow chat just enjoys telling me how wrong I am on occasion. I do it for you, everyone. Meanwhile, ChristosOwen enters the Dark World from the village, so we'll see our Skullwoods check, which seems to be popular at this point in time. Version 26, it just seemed like there was always something important here. Version 27 has been a little less likely, but we'll see what Christos can pull from here. Christos had his arrows out and forgot, nope, no silvers. Can't do it. TGH, meanwhile, looks like he's avoiding Skullwoods at this point in time.
What is he doing?
thinking picking up 8 bushes is faster than picking up 1 heavy rock. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe it's a new strat.
I mean, hey, the man is undefeated in group play up to this point in time. I'm not going to be one to question his motives. There we have 1 item for Christos. Still no fire rod, but he's got 1 more chest to check, I think. And chat pointing out, Christos may be forgetting that he does have the Cane of Samaria. And yeah, this is looking like a very healthy seed. We're less than a half hour in, and we have 13 hearts for Christos. And TGH pulls a sword.
That's good.
Yeah, Christos is going to be right behind him, I think, in picking up that sword. TGH checking the overworld locations. Both pulling a bottle from the C-shaped house as well. So Christos picks up his sword, meanwhile TGH picking up Jeremiah for his world tour. Christos is going to be right behind, probably following the same similar routing at this point. Magic powder, that's nice. I mean, it's nice. Not really, but nice.
Well, it could unlock 1 item. Not. It's useful in some ways.
No, it's very useful. I don't necessarily expect it to be as useful for Christos or TGH as, say, me whenever I play. But still a nice item to have. One of the many fetch quest items we have. Hype Cave has the hammer. That's enough of a Hype Cave there. I'll take it.
Yep. Finally, it's okay, only a little bit, but finally some hype in the Hype Cave.
Hype Cave said, it's Group H. Let's give you the hammer and the Hype Cave. Ha ha ha. I mean, I'm trying here. So, worth noting that Christos did not pick up Jeremiah. Meanwhile, TGH is about to turn him in.
Ooh. The bad boomerang.
The Redarang? Oh, that's the best boomerang.
No, it's the worst boomerang.
Are you kidding? I love it when it lags everything out whenever I try to use it. It's amazing. So Christos heading up north, probably going to check Pyramid to see what's possibly on there. We'll see where he goes afterwards. TGH, though, going to use the powder.
Let's see. Well,
It's a B torp. And
the
Christos.
Yep.
Yep, finding ether on the pyramid, that might be important. We saw Bombos being required up on Turtle Rock. We don't know what's going to be on Misery Mire yet.
Yeah, and powder paid off with the B.
Yes, because B is absolutely required.
Yes, it
Yeah.
is.
Oh, wow. I'm so happy.
Wow.
Meanwhile, Christos is going to head over to Pod, which is in logic right now between getting the hammer and the bow. We'll be able to go ahead and clear it all out. There are a significant number of items, and with the version 27 key logic update, it is a little bit more useful than it used to be in this first part of the tournament. Oh, and there's the ice rod for Christos in the first treasure chest in Pod. So if he didn't have the bow, or for whatever reason he didn't get the bow before coming in here, he'd be locked out. But he's safe for now. Worth noting that we didn't quite know what rod was going to be on that floating island, ice or fire rod. Now we know it has to be fire rod. And shout out to OC Rust, just sub to us. Thank you so much, OC Rust. We love you.
Hmm.
Okay, did I just completely see it wrong then?
What?
Okay. People are telling me I got it wrong and it was a validation arrow and not a rod on the floating island. So it's possible.
Ah. Well, I didn't see it, so I couldn't say anything about it.
It's all right. When in doubt, Vitasia's wrong. I think that's kind of a nice starting point here.
Good. TGH also heading to Pillars of Darkness.
Christos, of course, getting all the keys in the front half, other than the Ice Rod. I mean, that's still a significant pickup. Ice Rod can really troll people because it's available just about anywhere except behind Trinex for whatever reason.
Hmm. I'm wondering where the fire rod is.
Yeah, if it was up on the island, it would have made a ton of sense. But if it's not there, let's see.
They kinda need to find something in Zonish, like boots or a medallion to progress.
Boots, medallion, mirror would be nice. Flute would be good as well.
Fire rod would also open Skullwoods and Ice Palace.
Well, speaking of the boots,
What are those?
ask and ye shall receive.
So finally we can go fast.
I mean, I kind of enjoyed the nice kind of casual pace. This was right up my speed.
What? Casual speed? No. Speed running. That's the thing here. Gonna
I
go
mean,
fast.
I'm a filthy casual, so you know.
We need a Sonic sprite.
That would be amazing if we could get a Sonic sprite. So I know we have a ton of wonderful artists and sprite animators in our community. So Tear asks, I hope he shall receive his Sonic sprite, or if not Sonic, Sanic.
Well, we just found the flute.
Yeah, that's going to be big as well. Jose Phoenix, no, my name's Vitasia. I am not German. I am very clearly Midwestern.
What? I'm German? That's new to me. I thought
Ah,
I'm Austrian.
I thought you were French.
Wow. Seriously.
I'm just kidding. No one wants to be French.
Good.
And Christos is making his way through here in Palace of Darkness, gotten all the treasure chests. I believe there's still one item yet to get, if I counted right, but I've been proven wrong too many times in this race to trust myself. Yes, based on his menuing, we still have one more item yet to get here. So we see Christos getting ready to do. He's on Helmasaur, Fighter Sword Helmasaur with just regular arrows. He's certainly capable of it. It's not going to be fast though.
But still was fast. Nice.
Yeah, it was quite good. TGH setting up his bomb death warp, and we get the Master Sword from Helmasaur. That'll be nice. And our first crystal at 39 minutes in. That's I'm not going to call this a troll seed or a jet seed or anything like that. It just feels like this seed has been
Slow.
pushing our runners kind of all over the place. So Christos immediately on his way over to activate his swag duck. Where's Dr. Bob? Where's Dr. Bob when we need him?
Dr. Bob?
Oh, he shout out to one of our co-commentators, Dr. Bob Tastic. He sings a swag duck anthem and has a very lovely singing voice.
Okay. Yeah, sorry, no ducks, spec duck song from us, but I can do duck noises if wanted. Just kidding.
I don't know if that would be amazing or terrifying.
Why?
So Christos, changing the subject, is going to the Bat Cave. Meanwhile, TGH cleaning up Helmosaur will have see how much time TGH ends up saving here, or if he won't. Christos now going to use his gloves and boots to check, of course, Bonk Rocks and King's Tomb here. See what he gets up.
Money everywhere.
A whole lot of nothing. A little bit disappointing here for Christos, but we'll see where he ends up going at this point in time. TGH looks like he's going to be following in Christos' footsteps, and Bombos.
Ooh, very nice.
We're a fire rod short of doing too much in Turtle Rock.
What is TGH doing?
That's a great question.
Well, let's change the screen again. ChristosOwen, my area. Very nice.
Still hunting for this mirror, which is kind of a little bit depressing at this point in time in the match. Not going to be able to check several of the ledge locations or Checkerboard Cave. But he has the option, using Ether, going to go ahead and take a dive into Mire. He's got Red Mail. He's got Master Sword. He's not worried.
But no Bertos. That's important.
Yeah, mirror is not important. Chat's pointing out to me, and it's not technically required. It's just a nice thing to have for a lot of the overworld checks.
Oh right, Swamp is only pendant.
Yep.
Maybe we'll never find the mirror.
That would be something.
Yes, seems like the fire rod is the only item we need to find now.
Checking. Yeah, fire rod, and we're in go mode. Wow, that happened fast. I blinked and it happened.
There's the swag duck for TGH.
No. We only get one All Rise per game. We only need one national anthem. This is like the 7th inning stretch.
It seems Chat wants duck noises.
Well, go for it.
Well, I only do it once. So.
That was amazing.
No, it wasn't. Could be better.
Oh, and chat pointing out TGA's in Mire, but hasn't checked Pyramid yet, so won't be able to go into Mire because Ether was on the Pyramid. So TGH, while following Owen's routing for the most part, is a little bit behind right now.
Ice Palace. Interesting play.
Well, with Bombos, you got to think that that's the only play. There's the Fire Rod. ChristosOwen at 45 minutes and 44 seconds is now in go mode. Wow.
Well, now he really needs a Sonic Sprite. Because watching 6 crystals, no?
6 crystals, all in go mode. Master Sword, Silverless Ganon won't necessarily be easy. It's something that Christos has done. It's just a little bit of a long fight at this point. So TGH is going to struggle here a little bit in Ice Palace, and unfortunately is going to be stuck in a position of checking everything for his go mode items. He needs Ether, which we know is on Pyramid, and he's going to need Fire Rod, which we know is in Misery Mire. So not being able to go mode Ice Palace or Swamp Palace, he's going to be looking for these things. Swamp isn't required, right? Either way, TGH is going to be hunting around for a little bit until he decides to head up to the pyramid.
When did TGH pick up the bugnet? Where was the bugnet? How can I miss it? Very clean VT fight from Christos.
Yeah, I mean, that's about as quick as you can expect a Vitreous fight with Master Sword Silverless to be. So well done, Christos. Running a little low on arrows there, but worth it. So Christos, despite this seed kind of pulling him in different directions early on, is in go mode sub 1 hour. This is going to be pretty fast, all things considered. And since Christos has already done Pod, he's going to go ahead and do Eastern now, since he knows it's just come in, kill Armos, call it good. Valerius Fire Rod was in Misery Mire, which is locked behind Ether, which is on the pyramid. And it's also worth noting that we're not going to randomly find silvers. We have seen where the silvers are. Silvers are in the light world on the Lumberjack ledge. So we'll see TGH still go through here on Ice Palace. I mean, he might find something interesting, but it's not going to be progression.
Well, he found the mirror.
Oh, well, I mean, it's nice. And the unfortunate part about finding Mirror is that could guide him away from Pyramid. He could decide to check Swamp. He could decide to check Graveyard Ledge, South Hyrule or South Grove Ledge. So that's the problem with the Mirror unlocking other locations. It might pull TGH away from where we know he needs to go. and a mushroom on top of it. Yep, this is not looking terribly good for TGH. I typically avoid trying to say anyone is ahead or behind until we're in go mode, but we're in go mode and TGH is not, so TGH is officially, unequivocally behind and not catching up in any short amount of time right now. Jay Lineback, where are the Silvers? They are up on Lumberjack, so not looking good. We've seen where they are, so you have to defeat Aga to get them. And Christos hasn't seen them, but we know TGH has. So Christos make quick work of everything going through here, and we get another key on Gold Stare.
Fighting Cold Stare with Hammer can be terrifying, but luckily they have many hearts and red mail.
That's about the smoothest I've seen that Gibdo room.
Yeah. Was very nice fire rod dashes.
Oh no, I hate to see this. We see TGH on his way over to probably... Oh, maybe not. Oh, gonna do Pyramid Fairy.
Interesting.
I mean, it's a logical play if you don't know, and this will at least he'll be able to check the pyramid and know exactly where he's going. So he's going in the right direction. This is a positive step for TGH.
Did you check the Maya area?
Yes, TGH did check the Meyer area, knows that it's Ether, but couldn't get Ether because Ether was on the pyramid.
That's very good. So he might go after it.
And I think he will. Well, I sincerely hope he will. Meanwhile, Christos heading over, going to do Ice Palace now. And sees the Ether and says, oh my god. Few frustration slashes there.
Did you see that? There was a random hole.
Yeah, I did see that. Just, what's going on here? More health, more hearts. Despite this being a Jet Seed, we've seen just a ton of health so far. So much defense here.
The mirror was on the second chest in the right side of Ice Palace. If you can say that's like this.
TGH checking some more of these overworld locations. He's got the necessary item. He's still hunting for Fire Rod for Go Mode, officially. The problem is, we know exactly where Go Mode is, and it's in a crystal dungeon that he needs to get to. Christos, meanwhile, is able to effectively Go Mode and run through just everything. If you've blinked, you've missed him completing just 2 or 3 dungeons already.
Yeah, for Christos at the moment it's just like no major glitches in speedrunning. Go as fast as possible through the dungeons.
Absolutely. TGH checking all these overworld locations and getting disappointed each and every time. It's really unfortunate. I don't necessarily blame him though. Misery Mire only has 2 items. You you gotta think at that point in time that you have kind of a low chance. There's a lot of space in between a lot of the chests, so I don't blame him for checking overworld locations. It's just unfortunate that it's not the right play in this particular race. And TGH is on his way. We know he's going to the right place. Meanwhile, Christos gets his 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th crystal. He's only got Tower Hera and Turtle Rock now. He's absolutely amazing that ChristosOwen is going to only need 1 more jump up Death Mountain, and he's good from that point on.
Ah, good. TJ is going into Maya.
Yeah, that's a great thing for TGH right now. He's got 2 crystals to Christos' 5, and Christos is doing his Death Mountain ascent for the last time, for the first time, for the last time.
Yes, Christos is in go mode.
Yep. He's going to go over here, do Tower of Hera, probably not pick up anything more than what's required, and then head over to Turtle Rock. Now, Turtle Rock is interesting. It's a little bit faster in go mode, but not a ton. So, yeah. All right, and ChristosOwen climbing the tower. Just has to get trolled a little bit by these things. Yeah, and several people pointing out in chat right at the moment, it's not as though TGH made any bad routing decisions or he's had bad play. It was just unlucky. The routing decisions he made weren't the right ones, and the ones Christos made were the right ones. That's rando. I mean, there's a percentage that comes down to just pure, unadulterated luck. And there's Christos' 6th kill. Yep, let's see. Here comes Fire Rod for TGH. And he has it. No frustration slashes. You know, if I were TGH right now, I'd probably be feeling pretty good as well. He just hit an hour and he's in go mode. That's, for version 27, that's still pretty dang fast. So in his shoes right now, I would be pretty happy. Unless, of course, you're facing ChristosOwen. At which point, if you can get 1 hour go mode, you gotta be thinking Christos is probably also able to get 1 hour go mode, so you need to stop wasting time with frustration slashes. That was an interesting. Can you enlighten us?
I was thinking about to commentate on this, but I better not.
Terry, you're such a tease. And Christos gets the big key and the very first chest in Turtle Rock. Won't have to hunt that one down. Yep, and the main difference is people are just tuning in and seeing it's an hour in and they think TGH is so far behind. The main difference is ChristosOwen routed in a pyramid check fairly early. That had Ether, which opened up Misery Mire. TGH instead opted to check some other overworld locations, having pulled the mirror doing Ice Palace first. So unfortunately, TGH just kind of fell a little bit further behind. Getting that mirror was not good for him, all things said. And it just allowed Christos to build up, build up, and build up. Like I said, I don't think TGH had any bad routing per se. It's just that the timing of that pyramid check for ChristosOwen was just absolutely as about on point as you can be.
Yeah, hammer try next.
Yeah, Hammer Trinex won't be fun, but I mean, both of these guys can certainly do it. And Koze389 just subscribed. Thank you so much, Koze. Shout out to you, sir or ma'am or gender neutral individual. You have my respect.
TGH and Christos don't have a low percent time, but they should be able to do it.
Oh, Star Theater would just subscribe. Thanks so much, Star Theater. Christos working his way through this back half of Turtle Rock. Meanwhile, TGH is in Skull Woods doing hammer for kind of a trolly Mothula, staying up in the corner there. Indispensable asks, is there anything important in Tower of Hera? Absolutely not. We don't know because Christos go moded it and just ignored everything that he possibly could.
Exactly.
So there's nothing mandatory in Tower of Hera. There's his key and he's done. Maybe? Unless he's fishing for, possibly...
Was looking for a sword, but luck, no luck.
And the question becomes, how far behind is TGH using my wonderful new unit of measurement, Ganon Falls? Let's see here. I would say TGH is at least 6 Ganon Falls apart.
I say 10.
10? Okay. I was trying to be conservative. I mean, Silverless probably shortens or extends that out because each fight is going to take you quite a bit longer. Master Sword and Silverless is just going to make each fall hurt that much more.
Oh wait, they only have Master Sword at the moment. That means 5 or 6 Ganon Falls. And you know what time it is?
I absolutely know what time it is. Hang on a second. I think we need to...
It's time for the guessing game. For the big key.
Yep. So anyone who is guessing right now, you're welcome. Subscribers or people who cheer at least 250 bits or more on any of the speed gaming channels can play the big key guessing game and get a shout out from the bot if you end up being the first one to guess it. 1 through 22, there are 22 possible locations for the big key to be in Ganon's Tower. Tare, what are you going to guess for us today?
Number 12.
Number 12. You know what? This has been such a trolly seed. I'm going to go number 20. I think we're going to have to go deep myself. My experience, for whatever reason, in these sorts of seeds has always been that if the seed itself is trolly, Ganon's Tower will be nice to you. If the seed itself has been super nice to you in a jet seed like this, Ganon's Tower is going to play you like a fiddle.
Yep. In earlier versions, the big key had tendencies, is it the right word? I believe so. Be on the left or right side, well, more in specific locations, but they got that fixed.
Thank goodness, because it just means it's that much more exciting for us. So, nothing on the right side as of yet. And Christos is going to continue on through this to do the Ice Armos fight. And as a reminder for both of these runners, keep in mind, this is not the end of the world for Mr. TGH. TGH is currently 2-0 in group play. If he would have won this, he would have almost guaranteed his spot in the final 16. Meanwhile, ChristosOwen was 0-1, and as stacked as Group H has been with ChristosOwen, TGH, let me get the entire group out here, because that Group H was just ridiculous. TGH, Kyle, LPN, Genja23, ChristosOwen, and LT Gray. I mean, it was one of those situations you don't want to be 0-2 in this particular group. So happy to see Christos being in the position that he's in right at the moment. TGH certainly not out of it by any means. And there's Tempered.
How many chests now? 2, 6, 7, 10.
Yep, it's entirely possible unless TGH does that right side gamble, he won't see that seed. And of course, Bob's torch held for us the first shield we've seen all game. We are shieldless at this point in time.
Yeah, that's a nice seed.
There's the big key.
That was number 12.
That was number 12. And butter. So, 2 swords. At least TGH is likely going to pick up butter unless he gets that chest and immediately dumps out. Interesting routing decision by TGH, choosing to do Turtle Rock above and then mirror over to do Tower of Hera. That will be interesting. And where's Christos going?
He has no mirror. He needs to go around again.
Oh, right.
And the swapping would take way too much time with red mail.
This is true. That's an interesting point I did not take into consideration. Christos can't mirror out.
Just wanted to say, where's he going?
And we picked up the treasure chest we never pick up. I think that's got to be one of the first times in Randomizer I've ever seen someone open the Ganon's Tower big chest. Someone clip that. That's silly.
It's just a big chest.
A big chest no one ever picks up. I don't care what anyone says. Even if he doesn't pick up validation chest, run is valid now.
Well, it's valid even if he skips all chests.
Well, I mean, Tear, buddy.
What?
You're killing my buzz, man.
Okay.
I'm just giving you a hard time. So, Christos going through this gauntlet. Meanwhile, TGH is on his Trinex fight.
Well, there's your clip. Enjoy it.
So TGH is going to have to make his way over and do Tower of Hera yet. Not quite on his way.
Hey, look, even gives you a second clip.
I know. I'm feeling the love.
Bah, laugh.
So here we see, this is kind of interesting. Christos is getting really low on magic here. People are asking what was the difference in this race, and it really came down to pyramid routing. ChristosOwen routed to the pyramid fairly early, was able to get ether that was off there. TGH had no idea where ether was, and so when he checked Meyer and saw that it was ether to open, couldn't quite get there. And then TGH also picked up the mirror while checking Ice Palace, which kind of led him astray, unfortunately. Again, not bad gambles, but just things that didn't quite work out the way he wanted to. So Christos did pick up his second chest. Well done. And now we'll see Aga fight here. Just a single for Christos, and he gives himself a punishment ball.
Wow.
Just a bunch of singles. This has been some bad RNG, except for this one. Okay, I'll take the triple there.
Yeah, that was nice.
So TGH just now heading into Tower of Hera, or Ganon's Tower, probably feeling pretty good at an hour 18. But ChristosOwen about to start his Ganon fight. This has just been an amazing fast seed. They got pulled in every which direction. We didn't even have our first crystal until almost 40 minutes in. And then just everything happened all at once. So TGH did pick up his big key, and he picked up Tempered, which is really nice. If he would have noped out of there before, that would have been horrible. But he picks it up, was able to get out of there a little bit faster than Christos because he has the mirror. Again, no silvers. We know where silvers were located. Christos taking time to go ahead and do the torch glitch, which is very important for him right at the moment.
Why?
Well, I mean, man.
Yeah?
Okay, that's not terribly important. Just he has low magic. And there it is. Christos, you need to not stand there. I think we remember what's happened before. And GG, ChristosOwen with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 20 minutes, and 20 seconds. GG, Christos. That was just an amazingly fast race.
How does Silverless gun work exactly? Good question. How does it work?
I am not the whiz here because I don't think I've ever actually successfully done Silverless Ganon. So, Ter, you're the expert in this case.
If he shoots his firebirds right before the teleportation, there's a small time window where you can actually damage him with a sword spin. And yeah.
And there you have it. It is worth noting TGH did make up quite a bit of time there. Yeah, like I said, it's absolutely nothing that TGH did that was wrong per se. It's just simple routing choices and not even gambles. It was just kind of luck. And I'm going to make sure ChristosOwen knows that.
Hello.
Hey,
Christos, GG, sir. How are you feeling?
Thanks. Yeah, my heart rate is through the roof at the moment. Or it was anyway at the end of that. That Ganon's tower was something else.
Well, getting 2 swords, just boom, boom, right there. And...
Yeah, sorry, carry on.
Oh, you're the star here.
I honestly thought I'd just thrown it away in Ganon's tower. Because the way the seed played out, nothing was too difficult to find, I think. At least with how things went for me. Kind of the breadcrumbs just led to the next item, and like I was in go mode before I even knew it. I had 6 dungeons I could go mode, which is insane. That's the most I've ever had. And then in GT, I forgot that I didn't have the mirror when I went right. And then I realized about halfway through and was like, I'm just going to have to commit to a full right clear now. And then just after fighting Armos, I realized that I only had 3 arrows. And I was just like, oh no, this is going awful. Especially when I saw where the big key was in GT. I was like, should have gone left. That was the obvious thing to do in my situation. And then I wasted like a good 5 minutes, I feel like. And then I got so many arrow drops from everything. It was so annoying. So from that, I was like, well, I need to focus for the rest of GT and make sure I execute, because I just assumed the TGH was on my heels. I mean, why wouldn't you when you're playing somebody of that caliber?
Well, in your entire group, in Group H, it was just absolutely stacked. You already have 1 loss going in here. 2 losses at a Group H like this group kind of wouldn't have been a very good sign for the future of the rest of the group, would it have been?
Yeah, I needed this win to stay in, really. So there's a lot to play for me. What held TGH up?
I'm not necessarily going to say it was any bad routing or decisions like that. He avoided Pyramid for a while longer than you. So he, when he checked Mire and that area, he saw it was Ether, but didn't know where Ether was. He hadn't picked it up yet. So he ended up going into Ice Palace and picked up the mirror in Ice Palace, for example, and was full clearing that. So that really kind of made most of the difference there.
Nice. I recently, from a few days ago, really starting check the pyramid early-ish if you can. Shout out to Ben Ajneb. I was watching him play just a couple the other day, and he was just like, I always check pyramid because nobody else really checks it. So if it has something, it puts you in the lead. And I was like, yeah, that's a good point. I'm going to start doing that myself. And when I saw Ether there, I was just like, Awesome. This is good. Hopefully this will be required for Maya, and it was. So kind of everything just fell into place for me.
Yeah, and it absolutely did. That was the difference. Like I said, when you have a seed, when you're at 120, and you felt like you were behind even through that, I mean, every little bit helps, I suppose.
Yeah, the good thing, so I felt I played really well. My routing was decent. I made a couple of very small errors, but my execution was on point. So I was pretty happy with everything overall there. If I'd have lost that match, I would have been happy because I played well and I feel like I routed well. So if TGH had beat me, then I would have been fine with that.
So we thought there for a while there that you were going to be a little bit behind because TGH waited to do Escape and even the back half of Escape until he had the lamp. And I don't think you did. So we were wondering, when are you going to go back into that dark room to get your Titansmith, which really was required?
Yeah. Okay. So after my last race, where I had the catastrophe with that chest, I was just like, I am not gonna delay getting that chest. I was like, it's probably not gonna have anything. I knew it had an item, but there was other things I could check. I hadn't done Agonat or Ice Rod Cave and other stuff. I was like, no, we're gonna go and check this. Like, I don't want things to go downhill right at the start, just like last time. And when I saw Mitts there, I was just like, you've got to be kidding me. Like, again, another required item in Zua's chest. So I'm really thankful I went back there. But this seed overall was real quick. Like, both of us sub 130, like well under sub 130 for TGH as well. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's amazing. Speaking of TGH, I pulled him into the room. How you feeling, sir?
Yo, what's up? Yo, GG, Chris.
Yo, nice game, man. I was so sure you were on my tails in GT. I had a bit of a catastrophe. Running out of arrows, and I didn't have mirror, so I had to do the full right loop at the start. And I was just like, no, I'm throwing this away.
So did you go mode Ice Palace?
No. Well, I did to beat it, but I didn't go in before that. I go moded 6 crystals.
Wow.
The only one I didn't was Easton. Yeah, Easton.
I think I go moded 3 crystals.
I asked the guys what happened. Is the pyramid check, which...
Yeah, I chose to do the pyramid along with Fat Fairy. That's why I did Ice first. And then found Ether there, so...
Gotcha,
I was trying to
okay.
be... Yeah. So I coupled... I did Ice... I did Ice pretty soon after Pod. As soon as I found Bombos to get Fat Fairy access, and then did Fat Fairy along with Pyramid, and then went up to Catfish after that, and then went to Mire.
Okay, that makes sense. That's smart routing. So I did Pod, and then what did I do after that? I can't remember what I did after Pod. I think I went straight to Maya though. I didn't know what it was. I just wanted to see if it was Ether because I already had it before Pod.
Yeah.
And then since I could get in, I was like, okay, I'll go inside. And then Fire Rod was there, and I was like, well, okay, that's it. And everything else, yeah, it just kind of worked for me. It was lucky. Like, it was lucky, I've got to say, for me.
Yeah, I felt like I had a really good run. Like, I honestly felt ahead, if anything. Like, I felt like a lot of my choices were working out. I think the only thing was I didn't really get to go mode much. Like I dipped into Skull. Like I took my first trip to Village of Outcasts. I took Smith with me. Otherwise, I probably would have gone up like straight into Pod, but instead I went back to because I had the Smith with me. I was kind of forced to go back to back to Village of Outcasts and back to bring him back to the house. And then I never touched Thieves Town. I dipped into Skullwoods.
I did that as well.
There was nothing there, yeah. And then I went straight to Pod.
Okay, so it sounds like we did pretty much the exact same things, except for I didn't pick up the Smith. and that obviously impact. Like that's just really unfortunate that that single decision is basically the difference. Wow, I need to watch this back for sure.
Yeah, like I said, the two main differences, and you guys had pretty close routing up until this point in time. TGH went and was able to do the Dark Room and Escape, which we thought was going to sink Christos for a while until he went back there. But yeah, then Christos did route Pyramided much sooner, so that when you were both kind of neck and neck and checking Meyer at about the same time or within a few minutes of each other, Christos was able to just dive in and clear out Meyer, and then that had the Fire Rod, so go mode from that point on.
Yeah, like Pyramid for me is one of those locations that I just don't like checking. It's just really out of the way for a lot of things. I was planning, if anything, to route in like North Dark World and check it along with that, and like go down the pyramid and then come up to Catfish or whatever. And then I got Hammer, so I was like, okay, well, I'm probably gonna be able to do Pod and Ice before checking that, so I can route Fat Fury in with it. But I think that was the downfall here. Was I think in an effort to be slightly more efficient with routing, I just kind of got burned on it and just didn't check a single location sooner than I should have.
Yeah, but I mean, it wasn't a bad play at all. The chances of that.
Yeah, I mean, I can't regret anything.
So small.
Like, I did a couple of really minor dumb things, but like I can't regret anything overall.
Yeah, I'm glad that both sub 130, well under. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's a good race, man. Seriously, GG.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. I can't wait to watch the VOD.
No, it was absolutely amazing, and like I said, it was not bad routing from either of you. This came down to a coin flip, is what it feels like, and that coin flip gives Christos his first win in group. TGH, you fall to 2-1. So this is the great part in all of the groups across everything. Even the people who have 3 matches, no one has more than 2 wins. It's like this is the most even group play I've ever seen. Even the spring tournament, there was at least a few lopsided things, but it's been absolutely amazing watching all of these tournaments up to this point in time and all of these matches.
Yeah, I had everything to play for here, and I was just like, I've got to beat TGH to stay in the tournament. Like that was not an easy match for me, so I feel a bit better about my chances of getting through to the next stage now. But yeah, TGH, you're still in a great position. Are you through? Does that put you through? Haven't looked at the groups too closely.
I'm 2-1 now.
Oh, okay, I missed that. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a couple people who have 3 wins in the group play. I take that back. Z4 Tox is 3-1, and so he's finished group play. But going through everything else, I'm not seeing anyone else with more than 2 wins. So it's pretty even.
I think Andy won all 3 of his matches, but I could be wrong.
If that's the case, it's not listed as such in the group challenge, so maybe that'll get
challenge is final. Unlucky Andy. We'll have to double check that if he did win and is not saying that. So
no, it's fine. So what matches do you guys have left in your group H? TGH, I know you just have 1 more to go.
Yeah, I have 1 more, and it's actually tomorrow. Facing LT Gray tomorrow for my last match.
I've got 2 more. I've got to schedule a match with him as well, and is it Genja? I have to look who's in the groups.
Yeah, Genja.
Yeah, so I've got them 2 to play. But yeah, I think I'm gonna hop off here. Thanks for the race, TGH.
No problem, you too, man.
Thanks for commentating, guys. Good games.
Anytime, and once again, a shout out to both ChristosOwen and TGH. If you guys were as amazed as I was watching these 2 race in this absolute Just Seed, go ahead, give them a like, a follow, a share here on Twitch. Also, a shout out to our tracker, Dustin. Also, Fiesel, our wonderful restreamer, doing all the work for us. And I think that's going to wrap it up for the night. Tara, do you have any closing thoughts here on the scene?
No.
Nothing? Just a little something. Maybe
No.
maybe another duck quack?
No.
Ah. All right. My name's Vitasia, and I've been commentating with Tara. We're going to go ahead and sign off. Have a good night, the rest of everyone else.